Guys, so in this video, I'm going to go over my whole software setup and the different things that I use on each of my screens. Before I jump into this, make sure you check out TraderCreatorPro.com and the previous video that I made about my whole setup and all the tech stuff. But for a quick refresher, these two screens here are 1080p 27-inch monitors that are set up vertically. And then I've got a 49-inch Dell 5K screen, which this one's just hung up on my wall. This is equivalent to having two 27-inch 2K monitors. This down here is my portable monitor. This is my second screen when I'm traveling. It's also a touch screen, so I'm able to do some kind of trainings and drawings on this just by touching it, which I really like. But let's jump into what each of these screens hold and what softwares I use and why. Because I have tried a lot of brokers, a lot of platforms, and I think I've finally found what fits me the best. So hopefully it can help you and see what fits you. Okay, so first off, this is my mini monitor here. It's just a 1080p touchscreen monitor, and I use Tradingview on this monitor. Real quick, I'm going to show you all of these down here, basically the different programs that I use. So we've got Discord, iTunes, just for music, Chrome, Tastyworks. Tastyworks is what I use for my IRA because you're able to do futures and options. Tradestation, I actually don't open up Tradestation really because I only use them for futures, and I have that connected with TradingView, which I'll show you in a minute. I use Thinkorswim, but I only use the watch lists, which I'll show you in a little bit. I use Webull as my main options broker, and if you want to join Webull, be sure to check out the link below. I actually first used Webull just to give people reviews on YouTube of Webull, and then I ended up actually switching to Webull, and I love Webull. It has completely changed the way that I trade. Now I can trade options without having to think of how much I'm going to be paying in fees. So I love Webull. Then I also use TradingView for my main charting platform. I love the speed of switching between charts, and it's not really that expensive. And I've also learned how to code in TradingView, so I'm able to create my own indicators. And Tick Strike, this one is a unique one that I think most people probably don't even know about, but it actually ticks when things are having high ticks or low ticks compared to that same time of day in the past. So it's really cool. It helps me find the strong and the weak stocks really quickly. Hopefully today it will tick a little bit in the session so that I can show you what that's like. And then I open up Movavi Screen Recorder just for snapshots, screenshots. And then I use this one right here is the software for my mouse, which has completely changed the way I trade as well. I have set up hotkeys as custom buttons here. And so I have 6 different hotkeys just on my mouse. If I press these, they'll buy or sell. And then if I hold down my right click and then press one of those, it will buy or sell at like mid price, or they're just different types of hotkeys. So those are all the programs that I use, and let's go over how I use the screen space with those. So for this main screen though, I always keep it full screen so that I can actually see all the charts because it is a lot of charts. These are basically just my watch lists, and on the charts I usually keep these indicators, which are pivot points, the weekly, monthly, and yearly and quarterly, and then previous day high, previous day low. Really nothing too special. I actually don't really use the pivot points like that much. I've just gotten used to having them on my charts. I mostly use the previous day low, previous day high, and price action with my trading. And then I've built some of my own indicators like the ATR, DTR, so the average true range versus how much it's moved today. So Microsoft has moved 131%, its typical move. Got full time frame continuity, which has to do with the strat, if you know what the strat is. And then I use Ready Aim Fire, which is down here. That's a paid indicator. Link is down below if you want it. It's kind of like an RSI, but I really love it to find stocks that are overbought, oversold. Now let's check out my other monitor. So this one is my left vertical monitor here. In this one, I keep Discord open, and in our Discord, we've got tick alerts and different things like that. So if you want to join our Discord, be sure to check out TraderCreatorPro.com, or the link should be in the description below. I also use Google Chrome here on this screen, where I just have like some of my scanners. This is a true trader scanner, which finds spikes and gap to closes, and it also helps me with the pre-market scanner. And this one is Run Strat, so I can find the inside days and stuff like that have to do with the strat. And this one's completely free, but you can donate if you would like. I also will look up things like short interest here on shortsqueeze.com, and I'll also look at maybe some new stuff on Trade Exchange. Trade Exchange is probably one of the cheapest, like, value for your money. I think Trade Exchange is the best news service there is. Link is in the description if you want to check them out. I usually just use them for their newsletters in the mornings, but I'll kind of do just some kind of research here on my bottom left screen. And I'll also usually use Tastyworks here on this screen, but Tastyworks is my IRA, so I'm usually in positions for a long time. So I actually usually just keep it minimized, but I'll open it up on that screen if I want to use it. Next is my 5K monitor. So I'm gonna have to kind of try and scroll through this. Hopefully you can see everything on the screen. So here on the left is my main charting area, and I have my watch list here, and I use 4 different time frames. I usually have up the daily here, hourly here, 30-minute here, and the intraday 5-minute, 1-minute, 2-minute. I kind of shift between those on this chart here. And I mostly use these time frames so that I can see the strat type of moves and kind of get the bigger picture, especially in choppy markets. It's a great idea to have a sense of direction using the bigger time frames. You don't want to be sitting in a 5-minute chart and stay in that trade all day on a 5-minute chart. You need to be looking at the bigger time frames, telling you what to do and what direction in general you should go for the entire day if you're day trading. Now 1 minute and 2 minute, great for scalping, which I do as well. Then right here, this is in the middle of my screen, is the Thinkorswim watch list, which I've created. You probably can't see it very well, but I've created different indicators here to do with the strat and ready aim fire. It's like this one tells me what's oversold on a 5-minute right here. And then this one will tell me the average true range versus day true range. So Walmart has moved 174% its normal move. Then all these ones are all the strat ones, like daily moves. Like all these are inside down moves. All of these are 2s on the day. These are 2s, or like 2s, 1s on the month. But these can tell me what kind of trade alerts there are with the strat. And this one's more like overbought, oversold, and the TTM squeeze, which I also use. Then over here, we've got Webull. And Webull, like I've said before, is my favorite broker for scalping options. I can get in and out really fast with Webull, especially with the hotkeys on my mouse now. And I keep the options chain up here, then a little watch list here. My hot buttons are right down here. Chart, the ladder. I've got my positions and my orders right up here on the top right. And then I just have some level 2s here with hot buttons. But let me know, comment below if you want me to go over my Webull setup. This does change sometimes, but for the most part, this is my main setup that I use every single day here on Webull. Then over here on my right screen, this is where I watch futures. So I've got futures up and I have it linked with Tradingview, so I can get in and out here just on the DOM over here on the right. And I usually just trade the micro futures. I'm trying to do kind of my own little challenge of growing a $3,000 account. So that's why I'm doing micro futures, seeing how fast I can grow it. And so I'll watch usually up to 4 futures here. I'll watch oil, the NQ, SPY or the ES, and Bitcoin. And sometimes I'll change Bitcoin with gold. I'll watch gold too sometimes. And then I keep down here, you can see these are all this is tick strike down here, which we haven't had any heavy ticks during this session, so it hasn't gone off. We might actually get it right here at the close because we are 1 minute to the close and we didn't get anything. But typically this will tick up. Like I can know if Costco must have had big buyers coming in there for a little bit, but these will click. And so I can hear when things are moving really fast. And sometimes when I'm like away from my desk, I'll just turn up my speakers. And if I start hearing a lot of ticking in my basement, which is where this is at, then I'll come running down, see what's moving, because things are moving when things are ticking on this. But be sure to check out Tick Strike. It's honestly helped me so much with trading, especially doing options on these large caps. I can find the things that are moving really fast. I can find the things that are weak and that are having, and then also you can use it the opposite as well. So if there's heavy ticks and the stock isn't going down, then usually that's pointing out a bottom and it's time for it to reverse. So that's just something you have to get used to on how it works. But I love using Tick Strike. So that is my setup. And I've actually had this set up probably for a few months now, which is a very long time for me. Usually I'm changing things constantly, but I think I've finally found the way that I like to trade, the way that I like things to be laid out on my monitors. And once you find that way, just stick to it, because my trading has actually really increased and become more consistent as I've been consistent with my layout and kind of my daily routine. So let me know if you have any questions. Links to all the softwares are down below. Be sure to like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.